Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is really a new playlist, if you like, American Viscountess at Home. And it's when, well, you can get yourself a cup of tea, have a biscuit, sit back and relax, and I'll be having special guests from time to time when I'm at home. And since I'm at home today, one of these special guests is my husband.
Right. I can't believe that I'm finally a special guest on Julie's program. It's such an honor to be here.
Well, we just thought we would do these from time to time and bring in, you and perhaps your father and some other special guests and just sort of a relaxed conversation.
Yeah, a relaxed chat about it all, because this new season of American Viscountess is well underway.
It is.
We've done a few things differently. We really hope that you're enjoying it.
Yes, do comment down below.
The first question I have for Julie is, how does she feel about it?
Oh, okay. Well,
How do you think it's going?
I think, we're really pleased. And the comments that we've been getting back, we've been reading, the feedback has been so incredibly positive. I think people really like it that we sort of dip in and out to these historic houses, and then you find me back in the drawing room. And I think it just makes it more personal.
Well, I mean, this is called At Home. It is more informal, isn't it? It's more relaxed.
Yes.
You're kind of going out, meeting these owners. You're coming back, you're meeting me. You're going to meet Chris. You're going to meet Victoria, other members of the team.
Exactly.
It's just a kind of relaxed thing.
Yes.
So far, we've been to some extraordinary places. But before we actually took the camera out, Julie was here doing some astonishing research on my great-grandmother, Alberta, 9th Countess of Sandwich.
And an American.
And I have to say, I feel really fortunate, and I know my father feels very moved by the fact that here we have Julie, an American from Chicago, investigating, learning about, celebrating the life of the 9th Countess, who was indeed also an American from Chicago. And you've said it before, sometimes you see her picture, her portrait up on the wall in the staircase hall, and it's as if she's slightly watching over you.
That's what I feel like.
Do you feel her presence when you're reading her letters?
I do. I feel that I was meant to be here, as sort of bizarre as that sounds. I mean, it's very rare to have, when you look at the history of sort of these aristocratic families, to have two Americans marry into the family. I mean, that just doesn't really, you don't hear about that very often. And yet 100 years later, here I am, literally almost 100 years later to the day, I am here, and there's so many similarities between Alberta and myself. She's from Chicago, I'm from Chicago. She had 4 children, I had 4 children. And then, of course, the biggest shocker, if you like, was that she really was a yogi, a big follower of Swami Vivekananda. In the archives, I've already come across a book on India with her signature on the inside, but also, I think for me in particular, what was so wonderful to discover was that she had the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the most ancient yoga texts. And only if you're really a yogi do you kind of know about the Bhagavad Gita. And I thought, oh my goodness, I have Alberta's Bhagavad Gita, because there was her name on the inside.
So sometimes I will come home and I will find Julie in the house doing the most astonishing things with her body. Handstands, you're sort of tumbling over, you've got these extraordinary poses that you do. Any evidence that Alberta actually practiced yoga in that way?
So you have to look at yoga as there's really 6 different branches, and I'm not going to bore you with it, but only one of the 6 main branches is actually a movement branch. That's Hatha yoga. And from what I've been reading in Alberta's letters, she very much was studying karma yoga, which is service yoga, and also bhakti yoga, which is yoga of love. And so that's what she was focused on. And it's not saying that Hatha yoga, the physical movement part, doesn't also have elements of those as well. They do, but she was more zooming in on those 2 different types of branches.
She sounds like a member of my family taking it slightly easy when it comes to all those difficult positions.
Well, yeah, she just didn't do the poses. But I've been able to uncover, as many of you know, because you've been watching me almost every single week now since January 1st, doing a YouTube live where I really tell everybody what I've discovered that week, because her archive is incredible.
If you haven't watched one of Julie's YouTube lives, they are not every Thursday, but most Thursdays. Is that
Wednesday.
Right? Try Wednesday.
Wednesday. But yes, close. But you're right. It's okay. I've had to do them a couple
Thursdays. Are you doing one from
Thursdays.
Italy next week?
So, no, I am not. I'm going to pause. Sometimes occasionally I'll have a
skip.
pause.
Yeah.
But it's because we're also in the middle of the renovation of the monument room, the archive room, and that's been incredible. There's been so much support in that renovation through my fundraising drive on buymeacoffee.com. And that's been incredible. So while that's just about to be finished, I did just about a 2-week pause on the lives, just because it's really difficult for me to get access to where the archives are stored right now.
But the Monument Room project, if you watch our sister channel on Mapperton Live, you will find out all about that project. Julie has, today she looks like a princess.
Well, that's nice. Thanks.
But is that nice? but very quickly she'll be swapping this dress for overalls and out sanding, scraping,
painting. The painting's about
all the other brilliant things that you do. And but that monument room, which is now looking so extraordinary, you painted a picture to me of the moment when you bring my father there for the first time. That's a moment you're really looking forward to, isn't it?
I know. I told actually Luke this today, that I'm really looking forward to having your dad sit in the wingback chair with something to drink, sherry or whiskey or something, and I'll read out some of his grandmother's letters to him.
Yeah, that will be a lovely moment, and maybe I'll be in the background with a camera.
Yeah,
well, that might spoil it.
Maybe. But speaking of letters, I did want to tell you, and I'm going to surprise you right now because I don't think you have any idea, and I hopefully will surprise a lot of you, that I have uncovered two sort of amazing finds. Do you want me to share them with you?
Well, you've now highlighted them, so you have no choice.
So I have no choice. So the first one is, and this has been also through the help of so many of you who have DM'd me or sent through emails here at Mapperton saying, I've discovered this. And in fact, this what I'm about to reveal to you have been in the letters, but then those of you out there, you've done even more research on that and then have sent me information. So number one was, I did read through Alberta's letters that she did have a love before, that she had been in love before. And that
before meeting my great-grandfather.
Yes.
You mean he wasn't the only love of her life?
No. And when she became engaged to your great-grandfather, George, her stepfather, Frank Leggett, wrote in the letter saying, oh, I'm so happy that she's sort of through with that person in Germany. And I found out who that person was.
And who was it?
So she went quite often to Wartburg Castle and studied there in Germany. And there it sounds like she fell for this Captain Hans von Kranek. And he was the captain there. And so I think once I dive more into her letters, I'll be able to discover more. But it's looking highly likely that this
dashing German commandant,
that our marriage could have never happened had she married.
No, I think it would have still. These things have a way of happening anyway. So wow, that's an astonishing thought. But anyway, here we are. She met my great grandfather. Let's talk a bit more about the series, because we have got these.
No, I remember I've got to do one more. Remember, I had two.
She's in charge.
She said, I am in charge. I have two, because everybody will be saying, wait a minute, no.
Where's
you said
the
there were
second
two.
surprise?
So the second surprise is, this one's quite sad, so maybe I should have started with this one first, is that we know that Alberta's biological father, William Sturgis, died when she was 17. Her mother then remarried literally 9 months after her father died, but he was involved in quite a big court case with the Farwells, and he was in one sense loaning them money to build the state capitol in Texas, in Austin, Texas, which is considered the most exquisite state capitol. And it's there, it's built. But it ended badly for William Sturgis, to the point that he had to go to this mental institution in Owego, New York, and it was called Willard, and it was very popular. Now hear me out. I know that sounds a bit bizarre, but it was considered one of these new mental institutions that
maybe we call it a sanatorium.
A sanatorium, yeah, a sanatorium. And I was just using the words from what they used in the mid 19th century, but yes, a sanatorium. And I think that it was different from many of them that had been established in the United States, that they had freedom to move around and to get outside. And so it was actually considered one of the nicer places to be. But was
this because the project of building the Capitol had gone so wrong and he'd lost so much money and he was just so overwhelmed with stress? Is that what we think?
He fell out with the partners, and they were suing him, and he had
that sounds stressful.
He had a breakdown.
He had a breakdown.
Yeah. And that is, I'm afraid, where he died.
Really?
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And he died quite young, didn't he?
No. Luckily, he was in his 70s when he died.
70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he died, and and it's well. So again, that's something that I will be researching a little bit more of, because I know that Alberta, I think, very much missed her biological father. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to something a bit cheerier.
Okay. Yes, shall we?
Because we would like to invite you to come to Mapperton.
Yes.
We have launched something rather extraordinary here called Grand Historic Tours, where you will come to stay at Mapperton as guests of Julie and myself for 5 days and 5 nights. And our first Grand Historic Tour, amazingly, is full. It's happening in October.
Yep.
And our second Grand Historic Tour is happening in April, and the places are going fast.
Yes, they are. I can't believe April 2024.
But it's going to be such fun. You're going to stay with us here. We're going to have some fantastic meals together, including some recipes from Alberta's cookbook.
Yep.
We're going to take you on some extraordinary tours of other local historic houses, including
Athelhampton, which, if you haven't watched those episodes, do check them out.
And lots of other activities as well. So if you're interested in finding out more, please do look down in the description below. There's a link to grandhistorictours.com, and we really hope that we can meet you in person here at Mapperton.
So details down below, which is really exciting. And I might, wear this dress, actually.
You're going to have to wear all the dresses that you've been wearing. People are going to be demanding that. Each night a different dress.
Different dress. Yeah. Do you like getting dressed up occasionally?
So we've got some other houses that we are excited to go and see. And we're in the process of signing up, agreeing with some really exciting locations, some of which are absolutely world famous because of their... Well, we can't say anymore.
Oh,
can we?
No,
we just have to stop.
I nearly fell off my perch with some of them once I found out. So I can't give it away right now, but we will be traveling to the Cotswolds, we will be traveling to Scotland, and we will be traveling to Yorkshire.
Maybe we can hint that there will be some royal connections to some of these places.
Okay.
That's probably enough.
You heard it here first. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Don't give too much away.
I think I'm coming along on one of these.
I think you are too.
Or 2, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So that's all to come.
Well, not only will there be houses that have royal connections, as he's just spilled a little bit of the beans, but there's a coronation coming up. So we will be filming some coronation specials, which is very exciting. And I'll be commentating as well. I can't tell you what network yet.
How are you going to be doing coronation specials and commentating?
Because
it's because you're Superwoman. There we go.
No, because I can manage it all. So
she said she can manage it
on this channel, we will be having some coronation specials leading up to the coronation. and I will be commentating on a couple networks, which I'll let everybody know very, very soon. I can't spill those beans either, but I think this is going to be exciting, the coronation. I mean, listen, you know, the last time there was a coronation was 1953, where, you know, the majority of this country, you know, wasn't here to witness it.
Well, it was the first great television event. This one will be the first great YouTube event with Julie. So there you go.
Oh, I like that.
I like that, yeah.
I like that. That's perfect. Let's end there.
I think we should end there.
Thank you so much for joining me for my first of many more to come of American Viscountess at Home. Do comment down below if there's any guests you want me to have on, or are there any other topics that you'd like me to talk about when we do these at-home segments. Do let me know. Comment down below. And other than that.
And I've got one more thing to say, which is to thank our partner, Historic Houses.
Oh, yes.
Historic Houses help with the production of these episodes, and we would love it if you became a Historic Houses member.
Yep.
You get lots of interesting materials, a magazine, and of course access to these incredible places. So again, details
down below, and there's really something for everybody. Even if you can't travel over here, they're fantastic in their communication, and the magazines that Luke mentioned down below. It's really a wonderful organization to be a part of. Details down below. All right, I think that's it.
Bye everybody.
Bye everybody.